in the raw. RK is kind of free media. And I'm your friend and host, brother Haji, Dr. Roshan. And the topic is, opposition took a barrage of lies to Region 10 Vice President Dr. Barrage Jagdeo says. And this was published in the May 30th, 2022, various newspapers. Vice President Dr. Barrage Jagdeo slammed the afternoon AFC Ramjatan. Opposition for spreading a barrage of lies to residents of Region 10 over the weekend. Well, ladies and gentlemen, over the last weekend, we saw marching taking place in Linden, and it's eating the heart of Ramjatan. Mr. Ramjatan and Aubrey Norton, who represents the PNC in the APNO largest bloc, and Ramjatan, whom the PNC gave 9 free seats to the AFC, who did not bring a third of 1 seat in the election. But friends and family, ladies and gentlemen, we saw amazing things over the weekend. We saw and were reminded that houses are being built for professionals, lands are being prepared for Lindeners. What is it? About 1,000 lots. We saw when ex-President Dr. Barrage Jagdeo, current Vice President, said that one individual of the government, former government, coming to the end, got enough to give hundreds of house lots, but he got it all for himself. This is what I'm ashamed to say the president of the presidency, leadership of former president and Joseph Harmon, head of the presidency and the government and his cabinet were doing to you, the people. No one actually received anything from that government other than friends and families. It is alleged and announced according to the newspapers and to people's hearts. And then, on that weekend, the government gave out 1,000 jobs. Vice President Barrage Jagdeo had promised 800 jobs, part-time. People will make about 40,000, 30,000 per month. Better than nothing. And of course, work, do something instead of getting free money, because the aim is not to spoil people. And that is the aim of these part-time jobs. But why part-time jobs? As I envisage and I think and look at the strategy, ladies and gentlemen, I am not a political personality, even though it might be alluded that I am. I know nothing that the government does. I do not sit with them. They never invite me for anything. They never invite me for an event. They never do nothing for me, in likewise, business-wise or whatever. They do nothing for me. But I'm doing this because my heart is in it. And to do it, not because I want something from the government, but because I believe that this government is good for Guyana after what I saw in 2015 to 2020. Then on top of that, remember, this is in the raw. RK is Guyana Free Media, and I am your friend and your host, your brother Haji, Dr. Roshan in the raw. And then on top of that, ladies and gentlemen, 200 or is it 250 cash grants of $250,000 to come in a business or small businesses to expand and develop, with the hope they will hire 1 or 2 persons to work with them. But then we got a lot of miscreants, a word that folks Burnham like to use, a title to discuss people within the area of Linden and acolytes and satellites of Ramjatan, Norton, the APNU, who are criticizing that. I'm shocked at the chairman trying to say they want full-time jobs and they could take care of the families. Well, you go and do it, Mr. Chairman. You go, you, Mr. Norton, and Ram Jatan, you also should go and do it to ensure that you can give these full-time jobs. Here the government is ensuring they got money to put food on the table. Many of them, I know, already got jobs, but they're taking the government part-time jobs, and that is okay. I will not expose anybody, and that is okay. But why the part-time jobs? So that money is there, but they will not take that money and give you for free and spoil you. Like Ramjatan's partner, known as Pato or Patterson, is saying, give the people free money. If that's happened, he will say he's the guy. And they're the cause of it. No free money, you get some money, work for it, but by the time the 6 months or the year might elapse, the activities of development in Linden, Burbase, and Essequibo, the growth will start to take place. The investments in bridges, dams, and culverts, and money will circulate in various forms of construction, various road projects. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, brothers and sisters, this government, truly to my opinion, is a genius government. And I want you to know this government does nothing for me. They have never done a thing for me. And they obviously never will. And I am not asking them anymore. I let nature take its place and let them do what they want to do. And I smile. As a matter of fact, things now, with me and the business that I'm involved in, with my family, is worse off than coming to the end of the APNU era, when APNU realized that I should not have been marginalized by the Minister of the Presidency at that time. And they had left me alone. But that is it. So I want you to know this government is not doing anything for me. But I'm supporting them as a patriot, and because of all the things that I had experienced in the early days of APNU, I'm supporting this government because, not because of a political desire, a political wish, but also because I see that they are in the right trajectory for the growth and development of this country. So we go now. Dr. Barrage Jagdeo slammed the APNU and AFC opposition for spreading a barrage of lies to residents of Region 10 at the weekend. Opposition leader Aubrey Norton, along with a number of his party members, held a walkthrough in the mining town on Saturday, handing out flyers with misleading narratives. Does Aubrey Norton and Mr. Ramjatan of the AFC not realize that the people of Linden are not ordinary? They are very educated, highly exposed, some of the most brilliant people in this country. I give support, reality, respect, and sanction to that. Friends and family, brothers and sisters. So he was giving out misleading information, and the people know this. And as you can see, they were not even opening their gates for him. What a shameful thing for the area that you're trying to preserve, and the area you think that you have control over the minds and lives of the people. They would open their gates for you, Mr. Ramjatan and Mr. Norton. During a media conference at Office of the President, Dr. Jagdeo pointed out that a section of the flyer claimed that a mere $9 million has been budgeted for the agro-processing facility in Linden, while $7.3 billion has been allocated for Enmore. So let's listen to the boss, the master, vice president, former president, for what, 12, 13 years of this country? Speak. No money has been allocated for Enmore in the budget, comma, zero. The Vice President emphasized, explained that some 1.2 billion has been allocated for an industrial estate to be established where? In Buxton Fowlis Neighborhood Democratic Council, which will provide jobs for hundreds along the East Coast corridor. The opposition has also accused the government of informing the United Kingdom Caribbean Infrastructure Partnership Fund in 2019 that the Linden-Mabura Road project was not a priority project for PPPC. However, the Vice President said the concern was that the APNO and AFC government was moving forward with a project that was not the highest at that time. So yes, the opposition in 2019, which was the PPPC, objected, but because that was not a priority, there were other priorities which are taking place. So let us listen to the Master Vice President, Dr. Barrage Jagdeo, speak here. He explained that while the Linden to Mabura road link is important, it was not the most feasible part of the link which spans from Suzdijk to Brazil. So now he speaks again. So they were focusing on getting the British to fund the part from Mabura to Linden without any plan or financing to do the Suzdijk Linden. And if you look at any feasibility study, it would show that the greater value to the people in Region 10, and particularly those in Linden, he stressed. Suzdijk to Linden is more important than Linden or Mabura to Linden, and that will come about. So this is to give joy to the hearts of the people in that area and will create job opportunities and money circulating in the economy. My take. Additionally, VP Jagdeo called on the opposition for its blatant attempt to paint a narrative that only one COVID-19 cash grant allocation was received per household in Linden, while multiple persons per household in other parts of the country received the grants valued at $25,000 each. This is not factual. Former President Dr. Barrage Jagdeo and Vice President. They cannot substantiate with a single bit of fact. But again, this whistleblowing sort of racism, because they mislead the people in Linden. They say to them, you're treated differently than the rest of the country. This is an absolute lie. So he's of the opinion that Norton and Ramjatan are trying to show some kind of a racism. Unfortunately, we don't need these kinds of ideas stressing in the country. And I read on. The APNO AFC claimed that it provided over 1,000 scholarships in 5 years, where youths in Region 10 benefited. However, Dr. Jagdeo measured the claims against the 6,000 scholarships the PPPC administration has already distributed during the first year in office, and we know about that. The fly highlighted that under the APNO AFC, old age pension was increased from 7,500 to 20,500. But that is a blatant lie. Dr. Jagdeo asserted. And let's see what is happening. He underscored that even before the former government assumed office in 2014, the payout for old age pension stood at $13,125. But he said it's 7.5. That's what their document has. Unless Norton and Mr. Ramjatan have people in their team who are trying to sabotage them and put them in trouble, knowing that the brains of Vice President Dr. Barrage Jagdeo will eat them up. Maybe their own people are trying to sabotage them. VP Jagdeo said investment by the PPPC government for pension currently stands at $5.4 billion, with plans to double the old age pension by 2025, as promised. So we'll get about $50,000, yours truly too, by 2025. incremental increases. You can't give them the 15 now. And so by 2025, you'll get that as they are budgeting and preparing. Representing an annual increase of about 14.4 billion Guyana dollars. The Vice President said the opposition leader was busy spreading lies, and of course he's supported by Mr. Ramjatan. On the same day, the government was investing in the interest of the people with the launching of the part-time jobs and small business initiatives. Instead of applauding the government and showing some form of respect for the government, for doing good, and therefore impressing his people that he's a man of fairness, or they, Mr. Ramjatan, who is supporting Norton in these insanities and inanities and total bull, they could have instead got more respect from the people of Linden. Your friend, your family, me, brother, Haji, Dr. Roshan, Inda, Raw. Say thank you and farewell, friends.